every Disney Lorcana card that's been made and ever will be made, there's a huge team of passionate people that come together to pull it off. But every card starts with a story.
I'm Shane Hartley. I am the Executive Creative Director for Disney Lorcana.
And I'm Matt Eng. I'm the Creative Director over Illustration for Disney Lorcana.
When we're working on Disney Lorcana, story dictates everything. It dictates what franchises we put in the sets. It dictates what glimmers we get to create. It was really important that we include one of the most beloved and fan-requested franchises of probably all time for Disney Lorcana, and of course, it was the Goofy movie.
We're very excited to bring one of the most beloved characters from that film as a glimmer in Lorcana, Powerline.
I'm Naomi Kim. I'm the brand and product manager for Disney Lorcana.
I'm Sean Shishido. I'm a product design manager here at Disney, and I work on a wide variety of product, including Disney Lorcana. We have so many characters here at Disney that people love, and when we present them out into the world, we just want to make sure that they're taken care of.
In the magical realm of Disney Lorcana, we summon versions of characters, and we call them glimmers. Sometimes you see these glimmers as familiar glimmers from their stories, and other times you see them fantastically reimagined in ways that you've never seen before, and they're called Dreamborn and Floodborn glimmers. So we thought it'd be really awesome to do a Floodborn version of Powerline.
It's super fun to work on these Dreamborn and Floodborn glimmers, because even for us, we get to see these characters reimagined in a whole new way.
I'm Shane Smith. I'm the art director for card design. Every card basically starts as a blank canvas. And I kind of think of myself as a chef. I get a list of ingredients from people, and I have to combine those into making a card. And that could be, is the card inkable? What's their name? What's their version name? What ink are they? How much do they quest for? What language is the card? If there's a little divider bar for flavor text, which bar do we do? What collector number is the card? What set is it in? And all that information has to come together on like a 2.5 by 3.5 size piece of paper so that when you pull it out of a pack, it's immediately recognizable, you can read it, and you can understand it.
Once we have a glimmer chosen, then we can start filling in those blank areas of the card.
We knew this would be a really important card, and so it needed to have amazing artwork. And we needed to pick an artist that would knock it out of the park. Our friend Nicholas Cole had mentioned many times how enthusiastic he would be to work on anything from a Goofy movie. So it was a really easy choice to bring him on to do this card.
Nicholas Cole. I'm an illustrator for Disney Lorcana. I've worked on cards since the first chapter. So super early on, before the game launched, we had a moment where I was able to pitch a couple different ideas for glimmers. And in that set of sketches, there was actually a very earliest version of Pooh Honey Wizard, which was a card that my friend John Lauren did to perfection. And then in that very same sketch, and this must have been like maybe the first or second month on the project, right off the top, I was like, Powerline has to be in this. So genuinely from the first moments I was on Lorcana, I've been waiting for Goofy Movie to come around. The process with Powerline in particular started with costumes. We really wanted to find a look that preserved what was so good about the character and kind of add more of a rock and roll energy and really bring the iconic looks from the 80s and 90s pop and rock stars like into the costume design for the character. And because I'm such a fan of the character, I really wanted to make sure that whatever I changed, I didn't change it too much that it was unrecognizable or that we lost what really makes him an icon.
A lot of our characters become known for something special and unique to them. And for Powerline, he's like an amalgamation of every 90s pop icon. And even though he's in a Goofy movie for just a short period at the end, he has this outsized impact on the fans.
And taking kind of that life-size personality of Powerline, we thought it'd be so good to call him the world's greatest rock star, because that feels so inherent to Powerline, but also fits so well with Lorcana.
If there's any glimmer that's going to be a strong singer, it just makes sense for it to be Powerline.
Yeah, and that really opens up the door for our game design and game dev teams to take that and make something really special with that singing ability.
I'm Steve Warner. I'm one of the co-creators of the Disney Lorcana trading card game. I am also the head of our design and development department here at Ravensburger. And we're the ones that work on all of the mechanics and the stats and all of the effects that cards have. You remember the story of Powerline, right?
I do. I remember thinking that Powerline is such a passionate, larger-than-life performer that he had to be a Ruby Glimmer. Like, just had to be.
But he also wanted to be a singer, and singer was only an amber.
That is true. We had Ruby Glimmer, Singer. We decided to make the very first Ruby Singer Glimmer.
When we make a Glimmer with Singer, we usually make them singing +2 as their singing power.
Yeah, but we knew that since he's the world's greatest rock star, that we would have to amp him up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's super important in the development process to really go through and have a bunch of these iterations and focus on different aspects of the card, from the cost and the ability, but also the stats.
Yeah, so one of the iterations of this card was a 4 strength, 3 willpower, and with this really cool ability, but we were finding we just couldn't use that because he was being challenged too easily.
Yeah, and we had to take feedback like that from development to really iterate on the card. Maybe it needs more strength, maybe it needs more willpower, and we go bit by bit until we feel confident that this is where we want the card to be.
When we start the art for a card, we're always trying to capture the mechanics and the narrative all in one visual to help communicate to the player everything that they need to know about that card.
We knew that game development was going to make this an amazing card, and we knew it was going to be a strong singer, and the art had to reflect that. Of course, Nicholas Cole took it to the next level.
Sometimes it's a breeze, and sometimes I feel a little pressure, not from anybody else, but like internally as a fan, to really bring everything I can to a card. And with Powerline, that was like on 11. I really wanted to bring it, and I really tried my hardest to do so. So I'm pretty proud of how it came out. I think that 12-year-old Nick would have been really psyched to see this.
When you look at the artwork, you're instantly transported to a concert and you're watching Powerline perform right in front of you. You can feel the heat of the lights, you can see him move, you can hear him sing. It's such an immersive piece of art.
I think we can all agree that this was one of the most fun cards for us to work on.
And the final card that we landed on was a 6-cost Inkable with 6 strength, 4 willpower, and a quest for 2.
And he's a Floodlord, shift for 4, and Singer 9, which is so exciting.
Our narrative team came up with this really cool ability name, Mashup.
Once during your turn, whenever this character sings a song, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a song card with cost 9 or less and play it for free. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order.
So this is a case where he has such a cool ability that we have to fit all this stuff onto a card, and we have to take some other things off so that you can still read it. Once we have all those things sized and put on, we have a finished card.
Okay. This is amazing. It's a little emotional to see it in the paper, in the cardboard.
The game design team does such a great job, and like combining that with the narrative on being able to bring in the essence of that character, or like bring in the moment through a mechanic.
Art is amazing.
That is fantastic art. I mean, just seeing it on a card, a printed card for the first time is pretty incredible.
When you look at him, you can see, elements of all of these great 90s pop icons incorporated into the artwork.
I think one of my favorite things is the inclusion of the guitar. You can pretty much just hear it playing just by looking at it.
Yeah, this card was tricky to do because there's so much text to fit on there. And we have to do, 200 plus cards per set, multiple languages, and we're working several sets ahead, but when you get to see the finished cards, that's worth it.
It's really cool to feel like kind of part of the legacy of the character. I feel like it's really amazing to get to kind of stand on the shoulders of giants and be a part of something that you loved as a child. It's pretty special to get to hold it.